Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Cars and Corey. This one's for the two-wheeled folks. People have been asking me what's going on with the VFR project. Well, I've been holding out on a while for you, but I've made some progress, so let's get a quick update on what's going on. All right, before I show you what's going on over here, let's just quickly talk about the 91. I need to do a full video on this bike. This bike is phenomenal, but I just finished doing a maintenance service on this one, so did an oil change, checked the spark plugs, replaced the air filter, lubed the chain, bled the brake fluid, bled the clutch fluid. You can kind of, if you look inside here, you can see it still looks brown and nasty, but that's just like leftover goop. There was like literal mud inside, not literally, but there was mud inside there. It looked like mud. But anyway, got this thing all up to snuff, and it's riding great. I just took it up Mount Blue Sky, which 3 years ago they changed the name. It was Mount Evans. Anyway, 14,000 feet altitude. The bike did great. Awesome, awesome ride. But anyway, VFR project. So last time you saw it, it was in some state of disassembly. Now it is more or less fully disassembled. So just the other day, I got the motor out of the frame, got the front end off of it, got the forks and everything all separated, got some bits and pieces taken off, brakes off, carbs off. Yeah, so it's all in pieces now, and now I get to start the long and arduous process of cleaning everything, disassembling, inspecting, lubricating, replacing, adjusting, whatever needs to be done in order to put this thing back together to have a really nice fine-tuned machine, so that once I start putting very expensive tribute bike parts on it, it's not going to be lipstick on a pig, so to speak. So as you can see on the engine here, this has got 50 some odd thousand miles on it. It looks a little worse for wear, at least on the outside. I hope it runs great. I mean, once I get it all back together, we'll certainly know. But I am going to probably pop the valve covers off, just have a look inside there, maybe pop my camera inside the bores and just make sure there's no bore scoring or anything funky going on with that. So, but yeah, I'm going to kind of de-sludge everything and just get it looking real pretty. Make sure that it's not going to be leaking anything once it goes back together. You know, probably going to replace some rubber hoses and clamps and hardware and, you know, clean up all of the bolts, clean inside of this thing and, you know, clean the frame. This all has to get taken apart. Going to have to get a new shock, new forks, new front brakes. Gonna have to rebuild the carbs. It was at this point I started going off on a tangent about how the previous owner mangled the carburetor trumpets and how he's a complete troglodyte and how he should never be allowed near a machine again. But anyway, you don't want to hear all the expletives, so anyway, I'm gonna have to figure that out. This wheel is gonna have to get refinished. As you can see, it's got some curb rash all around it, so I'm gonna have that addressed, or maybe just find a replacement. Probably, I think there's bearings in here, so try to replace those bearings. So yeah, a lot of stuff to do. But crucially, I just found a couple of parts for the build that are going to make, well, they've motivated me a lot, because I thought it was going to be really difficult to find them. You can't get them new anymore. They're very expensive when you do find them, but I came across them for not a hell of a lot of money, and I'm super excited. Let's show you what those are. Okay, what do we got here? So I don't want to get my shadow in the way, but this is a genuine Honda RC30 18-inch rear wheel, and this is an NC30, which I don't know if it differs in any meaningful way from the RC30, but anyway, NC30 single nut rear hub, so that I can attach this wheel to this hub once it's in the swing arm of the motorcycle. So super, super excited to have found both of these parts. I've only found these in Europe for 1,000 euros, or in the UK for 1,000 British pounds, or in Australia for 1,000 Australian dollars, plus shipping, plus tariffs, plus all that crap. I found this domestically for way less than that, and jumped on it as soon as I possibly could. So super, super, super excited to have found that. A lot of guys don't even put these wheels on their tribute builds because they're so hard to find and so expensive. A lot of times they'll just take the wheel off of one of these, and they'll either leave this as is and say good enough, which, by the way, this is a 17-inch wheel, not an 18-inch wheel, but they might say close enough, or they'll make like a 3D printed thing on here that makes it look like it's a single nut rear hub, even though it isn't. And you know what? I don't fault them, because it's a really pricey thing to do. But anyway, super lucky found this. And then a guy local to me, shout out to Jerry, who has built his own tribute bike, hooked me up with this hub, and then a bunch of little bits and pieces left over from his build. I guess he got duplicates or whatever. So a couple extra parts there, but crucially this hub he sold me for I think very reasonable money. So thanks, Jerry, and thanks for kind of giving me some more information and some pointers on what I'm going to need for my build. Yeah, so there you go. Quick project update. I know it's been very slow, and it's probably going to be pretty slow going forward because I need to order probably conservatively $10,000 worth of parts. I don't know, to put this thing together. But I do want to get maybe a time lapse of me starting to clean all this stuff off and starting to put it back together. So stay tuned for the next episode on the VFR 750 project. And thank you so much for watching.